Welcome to La Coruña. La Coruña in Galicia, and it doesn't look quite as sunny outside. And here on Saturday night of the World Cup show of La Coruña, we're going to be watching the Longines Grand Prix. €300,000 on offer, and we'll start by having a looking at the track designed by Santi Varelli, which will be the course builder for Tokyo. So starting on an Oxer, turning right-handed to the Marquis de Riscal vertical, then over an Oxer, pretty straightforward, dogleg going to there, then turning back left-handed triple bar, which normally opens the horses a little bit onto a vertical. Varelli, the same as the other Spanish course builder, Javier Tenor, which we saw last week in Madrid, rarely builds huge tracks, but they're always very technical and always lots of problems around the track. There we have a related distance, Oxer to vertical, and coming across the diagonal to jump the Longines combination, which is vertical, Oxer, vertical, down to a Oxer over a water jump, and then to the final line, first a vertical just at the in gate on an angle over a double of Oxer vertical, and then finishing on to a big Oxer, which again is angled into the public, which often creates a slight difficulty for horses. Some horses don't finish their jump. At this time, we're going to join the competition with the Turkish rider Ömer Karevli, and he's riding his 9-year-old Cheston de la Pomme. At this stage, we're 23 horses in of a competition with 39 starter, and we just have the 4 clear so far. First to go was Rouge de Ravel, Guy Williams. Clear. Dennis Lynch with Rubens, La Silla clear. Inform Robert Whitaker, Catwalk clear, and the 4th one being Mark Houtzager and Sterhoff Stante. So we follow here Cheston, which we saw and which was very impressive, especially on the first day in Rotterdam. Jumped extremely well on that day, and nice easy distance down to the vertical. So this we're turning away from the in gate there. A full house here in La Coruña, as always, with a very enthusiastic public looking forward to. Little front toe there on the vertical, light material, not much margin for error. Good through the combination. Time allowed is 77 seconds. And coming down to the last there on 8 faults. So the first one to go, which was Guy Williams with his stallion Rouge de Ravel, made it look very easy, but the course seems to be very difficult to jump clear, and we're a long time waiting for some more clear rounds here. At the moment, just the 4. So next we have for Brazil Pedro Junqueira Mollart, and he's riding Prince Royal MFS. This is a 12-year-old stallion. A horse that very much could go clear here because he's a good record. He's second in the Grand Prix in Saint-Lô, ninth in Le Bowl. He was on the Brazilian team for St. Gallen, and was also recently, or not recently, last year he was third in the Grand Prix in Liège. So a horse well able for this class. We've seen a lot of interesting combinations here in La Coruña, and of course this is the year where the time of year where people start preparing for the next year being the Olympics. There's some new combinations coming in the limelight, and some people start their preparation to try and get on the team, or then to prepare their year for this Olympic year. There's still 3 countries trying to have a representative at the games. It's Portugal, Italy and Spain are all trying. At the moment it looks that Portugal, thanks to Luciana Denise, and Italy, thanks to Guadiano, are likely to be able to have 1 member qualified. So, of course, being quite a handful there for Pedro, and coming out with 4 faults. So now we have another Spanish representative there trying to join the 4 riders already clear and qualified for the jump off. And this is Santiago Nunes Riva, and he's riding Valentino de Hus, a 9-year-old by Vivaldi du Seigneur. Santiago was on the team in Barcelona that won the Challenge Cup. This horse was ridden by Ricardo Jurado, who has now taken over the job of Spanish chef d'équipe. Not misunderstanding there. And Santiago deciding to leave it at that for today. More than likely will be having the horse also in the World Cup tomorrow, this being his main horse. Quite a lot of riders prefer not to jump the horses on the day before the World Cup. They try to give the horse a warm-up on the first day, and then leave the horse fresh for the World Cup. But he for sure will be riding that horse tomorrow in the World Cup. So next, for Belgium, we have Gudrun Patate, and she's riding the Spanish-bred Seacoast Valdemadre Cluny. This is a horse that she started in the beginning of the year with a lot of success. Was one of the horses that caught the eye in the Sunshine Tour. Spanish bred, as I said, and formerly ridden by Jos Lansing. Jos Lansing, who is here in La Coruña to watch his horse ridden by Peter Clements in the which will be jumping in the World Cup tomorrow. So I said, Clooney, for his standard, didn't have a great show in Madrid. And defended himself a little bit. Normally he rarely has a vertical down. He rarely has any fence down. Extremely careful horse. Coming on 4. Very determined right there to the last fence from Gudrun, and I would say should be well pleased with that. Just rolled a toe there. So next is Guido Grimaldi, which we also saw in Madrid. And he's riding the just 8-year-old Gerardo E by Baltic VDL out of an Andiamo mare. Was placed in Madrid. Very genuine. And a hard-trying horse. The Grimaldi brothers, not people that we see most on the circuit, but extremely enthusiastic and just doing a super round there. Just still clear. Just turned in a little quick there to the Oxer. Might have felt that he was under pressure of time, which he wasn't, and got too near to the last Oxer. It's a pity. A brilliant round from the horse. And an extremely nice horse. This Gerardo E is. Now, next in the ring is Zoe Conter, and she's riding Univers de Finibus. Zoe, who was on the Belgium team. Silver in the Young Riders in Zuidwolde this summer. course, her father Stefan more than likely in Geneva. Geneva happening at the same time over this weekend, and it just shows the depth and strength of horses and riders to be able to have two big shows like that running concurrently with plenty of stars in both events. This horse previously ridden by Jon Egberg. Jumped a good round yesterday to be ninth. Horse tried very hard on the Oxer and then just landed a bit dead, and so he decides to retire, to call it a day. So still just a 4 with 9 horses to go. And again, it's typical for Santi to build courses that causes problem without one being able to say exactly what the difficulty is. Just all over the place, that there are little things that can catch oneself. So next in the ring is one that would be a very likely candidate to go clear, Max Tirouin, and he is riding Utopie Villon. Max, not one of the top 4 French riders that one sees a lot, but a rider with an incredible record for bringing home the bacon. Huge amount of placings in Grand Prix 150 classes with this horse. Picture of consistency. Won the Grand Prix in Rouen. Oh, he was lucky there that some people have rubbed this a lot less, and it came down. This horse by My Lord Carthago. A few horses by My Lord Carthago at the show. Coming in with 4 faults, and just leaving it 4 faults, so quite a fast time. Max could still find himself with good prize money for his effort there. Just lying 5th at the moment, so fastest of the 4 faults. A real pro rider is Max. So next in the ring is for Ireland is one of the 2 Michael Duffys here. This is Michael J. Duffy from Ballina, based in Germany, with Karl Hanley. And he's riding his Lapuccino, the 2nd Irish-bred horse by Livello. Livello, that was ridden to great success by Cameron Hanley. Early fence there for Michael. Michael, who was very much part of Madrid in Motion. Madrid in Motion, who won the Super League, the Global Super League final last year, and this year were third, which is quite incredible to finish 2 years in a row on the podium. Just riding a lovely round there again. Michael coming in with the 4 faults. And 74.02, so at this stage, leaving him in 8th place, which, the way things are going, he most probably will get some money for that. And Michael definitely will be back tomorrow for the World Cup, so he gets another chance. Next in the ring is Michael Young, and Michael is riding Sportsman S, 14-year-old. Michael, who of course is covered in medals in 3-day eventing, but is very competitive at this highest level. He's obviously trying to qualify his other horse for the Las Vegas final, and this is a horse he's been jumping since 2012. A horse that has a lot of placing at a slightly lower level than this. Lots of wins over 1.45 tracks. Santiago, who will be the course builder in Tokyo, is showing very much here how one is able to sort people out without having to overface horses, and just by continuously getting them to extend and them at the same time trying to keep the balance to jump verticals. He's really testing without overfacing, without overfacing horses, which is a great quality. Not sure that all the riders coming out with 4 faults would agree with that, but that's how it looks, especially when the calendar is so full. It's great to see horses coming in week in, week out without ever looking frightened. So next in the ring is the very much in form Luciana Denise, who has an incredible rate at the moment, strike rate of placing and wins for the amount of starts. Here she's riding the 12-year-old stallion, Jaco Blue II, by Jaco Blue. Another Lewis bred horse. He was ridden by Hungarian rider Krusko. And Luciana, that's able to ride any type of horse. He's as far removed from being a similar model to Fit for Fun as one can be. Quite a strong horse, and She rides him with incredible tact. Tomorrow she will be riding in the World Cup, the Grey Vertigo, and on paper would be one of the favorites for that class. Pity. Unlikely fall to have for the horse, because to have a vertical with him, he can get a little bit strong and forward. It's the more likely fall to have than a back rail of an Oxer. But unfortunately, coming in with 8 falls. So Lucinia, unfortunately, not in the jump off. As mentioned, Luciana is likely to win one place in the Olympics for Portugal. Under the present rule doesn't mean that it automatically her that would go, but it's likely that's her to go. But she's well on her way to get that extra spot as an individual rider. So next in the ring is for Italy, Pier Giorgio Bucci, and he's riding the Andrea, 11-year-old mare. Won the Grand Prix in Saint-Tropez and won a very good class in Calgary as well. Of course, those two are outdoor shows. This is a big mare. The arena here is bigger than Madrid, but it's still not a very big arena, and a big mare like that can be a little bit more difficult to ride in very tight arenas. You can see there how he has to do quite a bit of work. Still clear. Disappointing there. It was a great round, and again seemed to have gone past all the difficulties there, and fortunately the mare having a back bar behind. Very disappointing, Pier Giorgio, understandably so. Now next in the ring is for Belgium. It's Dominic Hendricks. He's riding Vintage de la Roque, a 10-year-old Canaan out of a Galoubet mare.
Second in his Grand Prix here last year, looking to go one place higher. Dominic Hendricks now of Belgium.
This is a horse that has done plenty of winning. Vintage de la Roque was 5th last night. Won both in Knokke and the Brussels Masters. Owned and bred, I would say, by Michel Icard. Early rail. And recently Dominic has taken over the ride. Dominic, who was second in this class last year, but it's not going to happen. It's not going to be a repeat. likely to ride his other horse, Coruña, the 9-year-old, in the World Cup tomorrow night. It's not good. Not a great round there for Dominic, and decides to call it a day.
Retiring this time around, Dominic Hendricks of Belgium there, even Hickstead this season. Dominic with Vintage.
4 quedan y 4 tenemos clasificados. Y el siguiente, como ven, entrando marcha atrás.
Now next is for Austria, Christian Romberg, and Christian is riding a grey 9-year-old by Singapore called Femke. Christian has some good form recently. Was 4th in the Grand Prix in Liège with his other horse. So let's see. We've only got 4 to go, and still just the 4 in the jump off, which is surprising. Of course, this time of year, what one sees as well, there's quite a movement of horses. There's quite a few fresh and new combinations, riders that don't know their horses very well yet. And also some horses, some of the main horses are resting in preparation for next year. One such horse that was a new horse that we saw yesterday and today, which is a very interesting horse, is a new mount for Alexandra Tops. Extremely good horse, Identity Virutzel, formerly ridden by Christoph van der Hasselt, and looks very promising. Just a little tweaking still to be done, but a very exciting combination in the making, I would say. Unfortunately, Femken is having a few fences down. So hopefully his other horse will perform better there tomorrow in the World Cup.
16 in total, 75, 47, Austria's Christian Romberg, and
Solo quedan 3 y aún queda una opción española en este gran
Now next
premio
is the last Spanish chance for the home crowd. It's Eduardo Alvarez Aznar, and he's riding Seringat. Edu also has his Rockefeller horse with him, which he will be aiming for the World Cup tomorrow night. Seringat, which we've seen quite a bit, and it's taken a little bit of the pressure off Rockefeller, who's very much kept for the very big occasions. And Seringat, not the easiest horse, but huge jump, huge ability. Edu has to compromise a little bit for accuracy sometimes. And of course those smaller arenas and the very committed distances and discontinuous having to move horses up and then keeping them balanced for verticals is not the ideal thing. Montreal. And he was very much the top. Little misunderstanding there on the approach to the double. Said I do not just the main anchorman for the Spanish team, but also very much part of the success and vital part of the Madrid in Motion team of the Global Champions Tour. So Edu decided to retire. So no Spanish in this jump off for the Longines Grand Prix. Just the four clear. Guy Williams, Dennis Lynch, Robert Whittaker, Mark Houtsager. Yesterday already we had a 1-2 in of British riders in the opening class with Robert Whittaker and Guy Williams finishing first and second of yesterday's big class. So next in the ring is for Ireland, Michael Duffy. Michael Duffy based in the UK, originally from Galway. And having a tremendous season. Riding Cassis. Michael, who had a profitable week in Prague, part of the Miami Celtics. Cassis made it very difficult for him there on that line, go too deep and punch the front pole down. So coming in with four. Michael will use his other horse in the World Cup tomorrow, Malherdrine, which he was extremely successful in Prague. So last to go, and definitely not least, is Michael van der Vleuten, and Michael is riding the 11-year-old Dana Blue by Mr. Blue. Michael, who year after year is one of the very biggest earners, huge percentage of placings and wins for the amount of starts, and he does many starts, and very prolific rider. And is able to quietly finding new horses and bringing the horses on. Then a blue. He's been riding since 2014. Won the Grand Prix in Oslo, Valkenswaard and Heaston. And mare with a lot of ability, but a mare that just can't get a little bit underbound and can get a little bit hot. rider with a huge amount of feeling. Flatten a little bit there. This mare owned by Marta Ortega, daughter of Mr. Ortega, owner of Inditex, which is very much from, synonymous with La Coruña. Coming on the fast 4 faults. So we'll definitely be in the prize money here with Dana Blue, but unfortunately not able to join the other 4 that are now just the 4 that are going to be in the jump off. So the jump off, we have a shortened course. Introducing 2 new fences for the jump off is Santi Valera. Michael very much likely to be back tomorrow night for the World Cup, probably with a different horse. So we're starting off on the number 6B and down to 8 vertical near the end gate. Then 9A and B, turning right to 12. Then the new fence, which is 14. Then 15, a vertical, again a new fence, and then finishing up with a long gallop down to the end gate over an Oxer, which was the number 3 in the first round. So just the 4 to go, and we're going to start with the fastest one actually on record, Rouge de Revel, written by Guy Williams. Rouge de Revel and Guy Williams, they were second on the first day, on yesterday, as mentioned, beaten narrowly by his compatriot Robert Whittaker. In 2017 they scored no less than 11 wins at 3, 4 and 5 star level, and this year they've already done 13. Rouge de Revel, which is a horse that can be a little bit temperamental, which is not atypical for a stallion. So let's see if he's on a good day there today. Very hard to beat when he's really off. So didn't want to be prophetical there, but unfortunately the horse can do this sort of thing, and this was near the end gate. So unfortunately, and getting a massive amount of time falls as well. So unfortunately for Guy, coming in with 16 faults, and we still won't really get a pointer as to know what what time one should have section time at any stage. So next in the ring is for Ireland is Rubens Ellis La Silla. This one written by Dennis Lynch. Horse born in Mexico. Was successfully ridden by Conor Swale until the middle of the year. Won a 5-star Grand Prix in Trio with Conor, and took very little time for Dennis to find all the buttons. Was second in the Grand Prix in Waregem, and 8th in the Grand Prix in Munich, and 8th in the World Cup in Madrid. Dennis very, very sweet on this horse, and can see himself winning plenty with him. Dennis is as motivated as ever. Good turn there. Taken off on that vertical. A bit lucky there. Great. So that's 40-33 for Dennis, and just 2 to beat him. Yesterday's winner, Catwalk, with Robert Whittaker, and then finishing off with Mark Houtsager. So with those two behind you, obviously not quite the time for celebration yet, especially Robert Whittaker, horse in superb form at that level over the last month or so. Managed to win both the Grand Prix and the World Cup in Helsinki. And as Dennis leaves the ring, there comes Robert. So one would have to think that with a combination like this that know each other inside out, that are right on form, that the time is beatable, but they have to leave the fences up as well. So I've gone just a little wider there. He is behind there. Obviously did go a little bit wider. And still a little bit behind and has a fence down. So unfortunately four faults, and 40-38 probably could have made the time because he didn't go wild to the last fence. So in second place with just Mark Houtsager between this €95,000 Grand Prix, 95,000 euro to the winner Grand Prix, here in La Coruña. So in comes Mark Houtsager with Sir Obstante. Mark, who together with his wife Julia Kaiser produced the horses for Sterrenhofs, brainchild of Ivo Campagna, who's breeding and producing horses of great quality, and a vision that's very much seems to be getting together, because he keeps producing wonderful horses, and this mare is no exception.
Last to go from Newton Mills through to Grand Prix around the world and World Cup qualifiers. Mark Houtsager, the last to go, Sterrenhofs, the rider from the Netherlands, target to beat is clear, 14.33.
So time definitely can be beaten. Let's see if he can leave the fences up as well. Seems to keep the pace better there between 1 and 2 than what Robert did. See the sectional time here. And he's quicker. He is quicker. He's 1 second up nearly. Oh! That's it. It's all over. It's a brilliant win by Dennis Lynch, and I would say Mark will be slightly disappointed there of the stride, the approach that he had to the vertical, and still finishing second, and despite the slow approach there to the last fence, he still managed to beat the time of Dennis Lynch. So unfortunately for Mark, it didn't just quite go according to plan, and finishing second all the same. Now, that shouldn't take anything away from the brilliant win of Dennis Lynch, and a combination that for sure we're going to see a lot more of, and which will be going from strength to strength. I'm sure that Dennis has big plans for this horse. He gets to know the horse better. So for the lesser placings then, 5th was Max Thirouin. Michael van der Vleuten 6th. Gudrun Patate still gets 6,900 there for her 4 falls and 72.87. Philip Weishaupt finished 8th. Michael J. Duffy picking up 9th place. Emmanuel Guadiano with Chalou 10th, and Olivier Robert and Michael Duffy 11th and 12th. So the prize giving now with Dennis Lynch coming in on Rubens La Silla to take the Longines trophy here in La Coruña, and a wonderful victory for Dennis. So tomorrow we'll have the World Cup, and there's Mrs. Ortega handing over the trophy to Dennis Lynch. So from me here in La Coruña, Alan Storm wishing you a very good evening, and hoping to see you soon again at the next international show.